How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Faerodyn here, and today I'm going to be installing a USB charger on Project Scorpion. These things are a great way to keep your electronic devices charged while you're riding. These work for GPSs, smartphones, 360-degree cameras, onboard cameras, even charging Bluetooth accessories on the go. If you've ever had issues with the batteries on your electronic devices not lasting all the way through your rides, this is a great solution. So stick around, I'm going to show you how to install one of these and give you some tips to getting these installed safely. Alright folks, so this is the MOTOPOWER 4.2 amp dual USB charger with voltmeter. It has a light up display to always show you what the voltage of the battery is. This kit comes with SAE leads, which are the wires that connect directly to your battery and can be used with a battery tender should you have need for one. Okay, so let's open it up and see what we've got. Alright, so we have a pamphlet that just says some of the specifications of the unit in English, Spanish, Italian, French, German, and I think Japanese. They're not really instructions because this thing is just plug and play. Rather, they're just some specifications in case you need to know specifically what kind of power is going to be running through and what it's designed for. We've got our dual USB charger unit here. I'll just kind of show it off here to let you see what it looks like up close. It does have a rubber plug on it to keep dust out and probably to prevent water from getting in there and mucking things up when you don't have any cables plugged in. The plastic housing is see-through, but smoked. I think it looks pretty cool. Next up, we've got our SAE leads. Everything in this kit is pretty much already ready to go for you, so you don't have to worry about cutting or splicing, taping, or none of that stuff. They already have terminals crimped on the ends to make it pretty much plug and play with minimal tools. One thing to look out for with these kits, make sure whatever kit you go with has the SA leads with a fuse, or at least give you the ability to add a fuse. You never want to direct connect wires to a battery of any vehicle without a fuse, because if there's ever a short in the system, it can really damage your bike's electrical power system. Worst case scenario, it could actually cause an electrical fire and bye-bye bike. And here's how the two fit together. Looks like it's a bit of a tight fit here for the first time. Alright, and that's pretty much all that comes in the kit. Pretty simple. Here are some things that you're going to need to install this. You're going to need a small to medium Phillips head screwdriver. Although the kit does not come with them, you'll probably need some zip ties just to secure the cables on your bike so that they don't get in the way or anything like that. And finally, if you want to hold the USB charger in place but to still be able to take it off later if you want to move it around or just not have it on the bike, I would suggest getting some Velcro or some hook and loop, and that'll ensure that it gets held in place securely but not permanently. Alright, well that's basically it. Let's go ahead and move on to the procedures. Alright, now we're going to need to get to the bike's battery. If you've got a KTM RC390 like me, you're going to need to remove the seat and then pull on the little cable here on the right hand side right above the filter box. That's going to undo the latch for the battery cover, and then we can remove that and get to the battery. Alright, step 2 is going to be to disconnect the battery. So if you don't know, the red cable is going to be the power or the positive, and the black cable is going to be the ground or the negative. Whenever you're disconnecting the battery, you're always going to want to disconnect the black terminal or the negative first. This is because it creates a circuit and is grounded to the chassis. So if you were to disconnect the power cable and then let it retouch the battery after disconnecting it, it could actually blow fuses and cause a lot of strain on your electrical system. So remember, when you're disconnecting the battery, always disconnect the ground or the black first, and then disconnect the red or the positive. And on the flip side of the coin, when you go to reconnect the battery, you're going to want to do that in reverse. So connect the positive or the red terminal first, and then connect the negative or the black terminal second. Alright, now for step 3, after testing to make sure that everything's working okay, I would take the time to plan out how you want to snake the wires through the body of the motorcycle and where exactly you want the USB charger to be sitting so that it's actually functional but also out of the way. Keep in mind, you're probably going to want to keep the wires away from anything that generates a lot of heat, such as the motorcycle's engine or the exhaust or even the radiator. Once you have settled on where you want to mount the USB charger, you can pretty much finish up in whatever order you want. You can mount the USB charger first, or you can just skip straight to cinching down the wires with some zip ties so they don't dangle. Just make sure they don't interfere with any moving parts, like your front forks. The generic hook and loop I used was just some stuff off the clearance rack, so it didn't have any adhesive or anything to make it stick. Here I'm just using some crazy glue to glue it to the USB charger and then to the dashboard of the bike where I wanted to mount it. I had to put some tape on it to hold it in place while the glue set. While using this generic Velcro is an extra step, it's going to make it easier to disconnect the USB charger and move it out of the way at any time if I want to use the SAE leads for a battery tender, or if the unit stops working for whatever reason and it needs to be replaced. I can just buy the replacement and swap them out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And there it is! This should be what your finished product looks like. A nice clean installation of your USB charger and SAE leads, discreetly wired through the body of the motorcycle. If you are installing this on a different bike, don't stress too much about how far away from the mounting location your bike's battery is located. The leads are quite long and should be long enough for almost any factory motorcycle out there. Alright everyone, you should now be ready to plug in your electrical devices and hit the road. Thanks for stopping by the channel. If you have any questions or advice, please feel free to let us know down in the comments. And as always, ride safe and have fun everyone. Peace!